Hi, I'm Rashid, an IELTS certified teacher trainer. For more than 15 years, I have studied how people learn languages, develop expertise, and succeed in the classroom. My work combines linguistics, educational psychology, communication, and teacher development. If you are serious about becoming a more effective English teacher and secure a better future, you are in the right place. My goal is simple: to help you teach with clarity, confidence, and professional purpose. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, do you plan lessons from activities or from outcomes? And if you are serious about improving as a teacher, subscribe for more videos like this. Like, comment, engage. So picture this. Your lesson plan looks stronger on paper. There is a warm-up, prediction task, video clip, some vocabulary work, pronunciation drill, speaking task, feedback at the end. Well, nothing is obviously wrong. You are good to go. But in class, something feels uncomfortable. The warmer you think is enjoyable, but disconnected. The video arrives before students know why they are watching it. The vocabulary stage takes so long that the speaking task feels rushed. By the time students finally need the language, half the room is tired. The other half is still not sure what the point was. After the lesson, your tutor says something interesting and it hurts you. The activities were fine, but the lesson didn't really hold together. That comment can feel mysterious and painful. What does hold together actually mean? You worked hard, you prepared the lesson. It means the lesson had activities, but it didn't have shape. By the end of this video, you will have a practical way to design the learner's experience. Have you heard of this one? You will not just fill a lesson plan with tasks. No, a practical way to do it. Here is the simplest definition. A lesson shape is the journey learners go through. So it is the sequence of support, challenge, attention, feedback, and confidence. An activity is what students do. A shape is what that activity does to the lesson. A warmer is not automatically useful because it is warm. It is useful because if it lowers an anxiety, it activates knowledge, schemata, it creates curiosity, creates a need. Vocabulary as well. Work is not useful because vocabulary is useful. It is useful if it removes a real barrier. It is useful if it prepares learners for what comes next. So remember this. Students do not experience your lesson aim as a sentence on a lesson plan. They experience movement. If the movement makes sense, the lesson feels purposeful. If the movement feels random, even good activities actually start to feel the clutter. So lesson shape is not the same thing as a template. Look, PPP, and of course you know PPP, has a shape. TBL has a shape. ESA, you know it of course, has a shape. A reading lesson has a shape. Speaking lesson has a shape. A writing lesson has a shape as well. But shape is deeper than labels. Inside every template, you still make decisions. You decide energy levels, you decide risk, you decide support, you decide language load, you decide timing. Oh, it's raining. So nice. Take a listening lesson. A tidy lesson plan might say leading, pre-teach vocabulary, just task, detail task, follow-up speaking. That sequence can be excellent. But if you pre-teach 10 words before students care about the topic, curiosity disappears. If the just task feels too difficult, the first listening becomes stressful. Correct stages can still create the wrong experience. This is where activity first planning causes problems. It treats listens like shopping baskets, as I told you in the previous video. You collect a fan warmer, a nice worksheet, an interesting video, a speaking game, and a feedback stage. Well, you collect from different resources. Every item might be useful. That basket still might not become a meal. This is why new teachers often say, "But I planned a lots of variety." And they are right to claim that variety matters, but variety without direction creates noise. Students stand up, then sit down, then watch, then move, then match, then speak, then write, then move again. From the teacher's perspective, the lesson feels energetic. From the learner's perspective, it can feel confusing. It can feel like moving through rooms, jumping from an island to another without understanding why each room or an island exists. When learners don't feel the route, they protect themselves. How? They become quiet. They switch to their L1. They wait for stronger students. They complete tasks mechanically. So the problem here is not motivation. The problem is that the lesson has not made the next step feel necessary. So ask yourself one question after every stage. What is now easier? What is now more meaningful? What is now more possible? If the leading works, the topic becomes easier to enter, easier to tackle. If the vocabulary stage works fine, the text becomes easier to process. If controlled practice works fine, accurate production becomes more possible. If feedback works fine, the second attempt becomes stronger than the first with new upgraded language. That question is broadly useful because it exposes decorative stages, right? So imagine students discuss holidays for 5 minutes. What changed? Did they generate ideas for writing? Did they reveal language gaps? Did they create a reason to read a travel review? If not, the discussion may be pleasant, but it is weightless. So a stage earns its place when it changes the conditions for the next stage. I said that in the previous video. That is listen shape in one sentence. Every stage should make the next important thing more possible. A quick question: have you ever taught a lesson that felt successful, but you weren't sure if learning actually happened? So let me know in the comments and share the video with another teacher who needs it. So let's compare two lesson shapes. The topic here is job interviews, for example. Shape A begins with vocabulary, then a video, then pronunciation work, controlled questions, and a final interview role play. Then can be completely sensible. Shape B begins differently. Students try a short interview immediately. They struggle, they fill the gap, then they watch a model, maybe, then they notice useful language, they practice stress patterns, they improve in answers, then they repeat the interview. Same content here, different experience. Okay. Shape A says learn the tools, then use them. Shape B says try the task, feel the need, get the tools, try again. Careful. Neither shape is automatically better. I'm not saying that. The choice depends on learners, depends on aims, on context, right? But notice the key idea. Shape controls when learners feel safe, and shape controls when learners feel stretched. This is the part many training courses never explain clearly enough. Lesson shape is partly cognitive and partly emotional. The cognitive side asks, how much information are learners holding at once? Are they processing instructions? Processing theory, new vocabulary, new task type, a grammar point, all at the same time? The emotional side says or asks, how exposed do learners feel? Are they speaking before they have ideas? Are they being corrected before they feel confident? So all these, you remember anxiety, affective filters, Stephen Krashen, Anderson, you still remember? Are they performing publicly before rehearsing privately? So weak lesson shapes often get pressure wrong. Too much support for too long, and the lesson becomes slow. Students never need to make meaningful choices. Too much demand too early, and the lesson becomes panic. Students avoid risk, hide behind stronger classmates, or use language they already know. Look, here, what is the sweet spot in this area, or this example? Support before demand, demand before feedback, feedback before the final lift. So here is a four-part shape. Check. Use it before teaching. First, entry. How do learners enter the topic? Ask. How do they enter the task? How do they enter the language? Is there a reason to care? Second, build. What support do learners receive? Ideas, examples, language, pronunciation, strategies, task rehearsal, you name it. Third, pressure. Where is the meaningful challenge? Where must learners choose? Explain, maybe, persuade, maybe, understand, maybe, write, speak, maybe, solve problems, maybe. Fourth, return. How do learners come back stronger after all these stages? Through feedback, through reformulation, self-correction, a second attempt, repair, etc. Entry, build, pressure, return. This is not a method, it's a scan. If your lesson has entry and build but no pressure, it may feel flat. If it has pressure without build, it may feel chaotic. If it has no return, students may finish the task and leave with the same problems they started with. Okay? So apply this thinking to common lesson types. In a grammar lesson, entry maybe comes through context. Build comes through meaning and form. Pressure comes through use. Return comes through feedback. Okay? In a reading lesson, entry comes through prediction. Build comes through manageable tasks. Pressure comes through deeper understanding, deeper comprehension. Return comes through discussion or language work. In a speaking lesson, entry may come through topic and purpose. Build comes through ideas and useful language. Pressure comes through a meaningful speaking task. Return comes through feedback and a stronger second attempt. So once you see lesson shape, planning changes. You stop asking what activity comes next, and you start asking what experience do learners need next. Maybe they need confidence, maybe challenge, maybe silence, maybe a model. Maybe they need to struggle a little bit. Maybe they need to solve problems, etc. So that is where planning becomes teaching, before the lesson has even started. Now again, return to the lesson from the opening. The activities were never the enemy. The warmer could be useful, the video clip could be useful, the vocabulary could be useful, the pronunciation work could be useful, the role play could be useful. The question is different. The question here is, did the warmer open the topic or simply consume time? Did the video create a need or arrive cold? For vocabulary, did the vocabulary unblock the task or become a separate lesson? Did the role play produce evidence, or was it simply the final activity? When those answers line up, the lesson starts to hold together. Not because every stage has a label, but because every stage changes readiness. Every stage changes what learners can do next. And that leads directly to ESA. Do you know this word? Jeremy Hammer, thanks to him, because engage, study, activate is not simply three boxes. All right? So in the next video, we're going to explore ESA. What is it? Engage, speak, activate. and we're gonna see how it really works. Straight arrow, boomerang, patch, work. What are these words? So in the next video, we're gonna explore these words and what are they, and how it depends on the method. They say Jeremy Hammer's method, ESA or A is E. It depends, right? So if you found this video very useful, please don't forget to like, share, comment, engage, actually, because the way we communicate, I'm just recording here, I'm just talking to the camera, but how do I know you are watching and you are learning something new and you are interested and not wasting my time preparing the whole day, recording, editing, and so many other stuff. So the only way is to engage. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video. Goodbye.